is Ripfumelo Journey. I'm a fourth year medical student at Stellenbosch University, and in this video I'll be talking about a life of a fourth year medical student in Stellenbosch University. So I went to Brand van Niekerk High School, which is a high school located in Sabi, a small town in Malanga. And in my matric marks, I had like 7 subjects, right? Life science, physics, maths, and accounting were my majors. I got distinctions in all of them except for, I think it was English, yeah, except for English. And then as for my NBT, I really didn't prepare well for my NBT. Like, I didn't take them as seriously, and so therefore I performed poorly in them, and because of that I was put on a 7-year program in Stellenbosch to study medicine instead of the 6-year program. Yeah. So I am on the Oppenheimer Memorial Trust bursary, and how you apply for it is that you apply for it via CareerWise. So to get the bursary, yes, you need to have good marks, but in order to keep the bursary over the years, they don't really check your mark. Well, like, you don't have to get a certain mark, and if you're not doing well at school, the nice thing about it is that they can even hire private tutors to help you with your academic work. Yeah, so my first year experience of varsity was, yeah, it was the pits, because I never wanted to go to Stellenbosch. I wanted to go to Wits, but then due to circumstances I made it in Stellenbosch instead. And because I was so far from home, I was depressed. I didn't have friends, didn't have any family members down there. And because I was also placed on the extended program, the 7-year program, I just felt like I didn't deserve to be there, because what you'd get is that students that were in the mainstream, the 6-year program, they would look down on us, the EDP students. That's what we call EDP extended program. They would look down on us, so I'd feel so stupid, I'd feel dumb, I feel like I didn't deserve to be there. It was literally the worst. Yeah. I even remember applying to change my career. I wanted to become an accountant, and I applied for Wits to study accounting, and I wanted to change, but luckily I had the support of my parents. So basically what they did, they took me to an accounting firm. I got to see how accountants work, and that helped me to make a more sound decision, which was staying in the program. Because honestly, it was not the program itself that was hard. It was the environment, the fact that I was in Cape Town, far away from family and friends, that was depressing me. Hence I thought that, oh, medicine is hard. So yeah, but eventually later on the year, when I started making friends and I started opening up to traveling and exploring Cape Town, I fell in love with the city, and that's when I started also doing well in my academics and just enjoying the program. So in first year and second year, my most challenging module was anatomy. Yo, guys, anatomy. Like, I just hate how you just have to cram, there's no understanding. You just have to cram all those big words, cram the relations, the different relations. It was a very, very difficult module for me. Like, it made everything bad, but luckily second year it got a bit easier, since we started doing our dissections, and also with the help of mentors and the other medical students in later years, it helped me. But anatomy was the pits, guys. But because we did a lot of anatomy in first and second year, currently I enjoy it, and studying anatomy is easy because it's more of revision than starting over. I mean, it's not like your body changes over the years. So yeah, but I'd say my easiest module that I love and loved and still love is physiology. I just love understanding how the body works, because it makes it easier when you have to learn the diseases, the pathophysiology. If you understand the normal, then the abnormal is, you can literally figure it out, So yeah, that's my favorite. And so as I mentioned, I'm currently in fourth year. When the year started, I started on a good note. We started in hospital. So basically in third and fourth year, you rotate monthly your theory modules and your clinical rotations. Yeah, but I didn't really get to experience much of fourth year due to the pandemic. I only had one clinical rotation and no, I actually had two clinical rotations and one theory rotation. Yeah. Whereas with third year, we were always alternating clinics and theory. Third year was amazing because in second year is like a theory dense year. It's just hectic theory, whereas on third year we started going officially to hospital, and you get to put your theory into practice, which was amazing. Like, I think second year will make you hate medical school because of the theory, but third year will make you appreciate second year because you get to put that work in practice, you know. And it's different to learn medicine in hospital settings compared to just reading books and articles. So yeah, third year was a fun time. It was a bliss, working with patients, getting to be hands-on. In our hospital, in Tygerberg Hospital, they literally, you clock in the patient, you do the history, and then you present your patient to your doctor, the registrar, and then from there he will tell you what to do. If you need to take blood, put on drips, or you know, refer the patient somewhere. But basically the patient is yours to manage from admission until the patient is discharged, which is amazing because you basically feel like, oh, you get a taste of being what it feels like to be a doctor. Yeah. And the nice thing is that we managed to cover a lot of our clinical rotations in third year and like halfway through fourth year, and then from now on it's basically just repetition. But again, the pandemic robbed us a whole lot of clinical experiences, and most of our some of our the remaining clinical rotations have been shifted to fifth year, which is next year. Currently I'm busy with my electives, which is exciting, fourth year electives. And what they also did is they moved our fifth year electives. We have a choice of doing them this year or next year, but I think I'm gonna do everything this year so that next year I can just focus on the relevant clinical rotations and theory work. I think we only have like 3 theory modules next year, which is exciting. So I'll basically spend most of the year in hospital. Advice to future medical students: if you're going to apply to do medicine, make sure that you are really passionate about the job, because yes, I understand the money and the benefits that comes with the career and the stability as well, but it's also important to have a passion for it, because studying medicine is really not easy, in a sense that there's just so much information, and also yeah, it requires you to put a whole lot of energy. And second of all, if you're a medical student, don't be too focused on your books. There's still a life out there. Go out, visit friends, do go to parties, do go to weddings, attend events, because you can't make what you're studying your whole life. 6 years is a long time for you to just shut yourself indoors and just focus on your books. So do have a life, man. There's so many things out there. You find a balance between studying and just living your life to the fullest, because you're still young, man. You're still very young, and it's really doable to focus on academics and still have a life outside academics. Also, it's good for you because you avoid being burnt out. That's something I experienced in first year, because in first year I just was so focused on my studying, so focused on still getting good grades, and not necessarily going out as much. And yeah, when you get a burnout, it becomes even more difficult to study. So you need to refuel yourself, refuel your energy. And it's also just important for you to enjoy the process. It's impossible to get to a point where you know everything. Medicine is always constantly evolving, and so you might study like basically everything that you study now, by the time you work, might be irrelevant because of new medications, drug resistance, and you know, new better therapy therapy interventions that are out there. So it's okay to acknowledge your knowledge gaps and be comfortable with having knowledge gaps, because it just leaves room for you to develop and grow. Yeah, and another thing that I'm very, very, very passionate about is being a health advocate. Yes, we have all these information and knowledge, and it is very important for us to also play our role in educating the general public on how they can manage or basically prevent certain conditions, especially those that are related to lifestyle modification, because it really does go a long way. The general public does not know much about basic things that they can do to prevent certain illnesses or diseases. So play your part in educating your patients. Be patient with taking time and just educating the patient on how to prevent hypertension, how to prevent diabetes. Educate your friends, educate your families. This is gonna help our health system in the long run, you know, where instead of having a burden of patients that are coming in for preventable diseases, we rather deal with things that we cannot prevent, for example the pandemic. Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. I tried to keep it as short as possible. If you're planning on studying medicine, trust me, it's not as boring as everybody makes it seem to be. And also the years are not as long as they sound. 6 or 7 years might sound long, but once you're in the program, they go by very, very, very fast, you know. And if you are studying medicine, all the best. All the best. All the best. Begazalani, guys. We're gonna finish strong. Yeah.
Our greatest glory is never in falling, but in rising every time we fall. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to get more videos like these. Thank you to the new subscribers, very much appreciated.